every day you accept a solution that's going to take a year or 2 years to deploy is giving up time, which none of us have enough of. The consumer marketplace, the overall marketplace is moving much faster than we can even keep up with.
Having worked with large-scale financial institutions all over the world, just found the terminology when working with businesses and to bring people together to talk about what is the experience that we want to enable for the end user, regardless of who that human user is, whether it's a corporate banker, whether it's an employee, whether it's a treasurer of Coca-Cola, whether it's an individual consumer. It's ultimately a human that is engaging an experience and interacting in some way with money. I believe over the next 7 to 10 years, the glass experience for the end user, much of that's going to go away. That's why this is termed beyond the glass. Because the glass experience will continue for some, but it's looking beyond the glass. And in order to enable that next wave of experience, you have to improve the below the glass technology and environment. A typical large financial institution will have 4 big businesses. It's consumer banking business, it's payments business, a wealth management business, and a corporate and institutional bank. Those are hugely siloed P&Ls. And it's not uncommon to walk into a financial institution and they refer to the customer as the product, meaning they have a credit card. But the debit card is in a different business. And ultimately, it's one human that sits on top of those products. And the end goal is to ultimately design an end user experience that is beautiful for the end human user. So how do you design those end human user experiences when managing a complex organization with P&Ls that are largely product oriented? And it starts with painting a vision of what the potential possibility is and understanding the language of the organization. And how do you marry the end human user experience with the P&L? The P&L is an output of human interactions. And somewhere between the human interaction and the P&L is a product that monetizes that human interaction. So it's painting a vision of what that end human user experience can be. But then the biggest thing culturally is finding the believers, people that lean in, people that want to transform. It's finding the believers and enabling them, empowering them, giving them the space and the oxygen to actually create. But it's doing it not at wholesale program transformation level. It starts with finding the believers and doing one thing and doing it amazing and doing it beautifully and doing it amazing and beautifully and then tracing that to how does that have P&L impact on the organization. The most basic elementary metric that can be introduced to anybody regardless of their fluency in digital, in any company, in banking, in any sector, any business, is a super simple measurement. The one, very simple, first metric to measure digital maturity across all of those 50 to 80 businesses is one simple thing, and that is DIY. Can Jim, by himself, regardless of what the business is, whoever the end human user is, how much of that experience out of the top 10 things Jim wants to do, out of the top 30 things Jim wants to do, sales and service, can he do by himself in the glass, or does he need another human? A $70 billion market cap company is only 55% DIY. So that means 45% of their business has to come into the branch. But do they want to come into the branch?
Correct.
That's the simple concept of DIY, because you then take this human experience of, do they want to interact with you? Do they want to be able to DIY? The other 2 interaction models, the 3 interaction models, and we could spend hours on this, are DIY, do it together or do it for me. To truly create the future, it starts with a leader that has a vision that recognizes how human interaction has and will fundamentally change with technology. Recognizing having 4-year, 10-year horizons on a project probably just doesn't work. So you got to be able to chunk the work down into something that ships in no more than 9 months. You got to have a project that in 3 days you can assemble a team. Within 6 hours to 6 weeks at most, you have a prototype and you're shipping product in no more than 9 months. If it's taking you more than 9 months to ship product, that's the biggest difference. To keep it simple, we refer to it as the age of brick, the age of glass, and the age of air. Brick was the age of branches. We're now in the age of glass, and we're very soon going to be moving into the age of air. Age of air means hands-free interactions where it's more voice-enabled than touch-enabled. Touch will always be a part of our interaction model, but increasingly, AI will start to solve problems through the air and solving and anticipating questions that we don't even have to interact with. If you're a legacy institution, the number one thing, because you're CEO and or chairman, especially if you're publicly traded, understand how many P&Ls do you have in your business, and then go back and measure how DIY. Number one, go back and measure how DIY your business is. Top 50 reasons why a human walks into a branch. Take the top 50 reasons, top 10 reasons why a wealth customer contacts your wealth management business. If you're a corporate banker, what's the top reasons why your customers are contacting you? Is it because they want to, or is it because they have to? Because if Google came in, took over your business, do they look at it like Google, or Zuckerberg comes in and takes over your business, flips your business on the head and says, if I were to design this with 0 humans in the loop, 1 human above the glass, 0 humans below the glass, what does your business model look like? Because that's where we're heading. Once you make it intelligent, then you can start to anticipate. How do you remove decisions for a customer? The biggest stress in any human's life is money. How do you remove decisions for them? That's the world beyond the glass.